So, I hope you can hear me. You're gonna warm up by doing some abdominal tucks. So usually we tend to just lay loose, which is probably one of the reasons you strained your back. You need to go ahead and tuck so that abdomen comes belly button to spine, and you're tucking that pelvis in. You can do this standing, and this is just kind of your warm up. You can do this standing, and you want to hold for a little bit. And as you pull it in, you're already naturally giving your lower back a stretch. Just doing it as long as you comfortably can. Release. Try to get like 2 sets of 10 reps if you can as a warm up. You can do it seated. I don't know if that'll be more comfortable, less comfortable. You can do it seated, and you can also do it laying down. So usually we lay down like this, and you're gonna tuck. Again, you're already stretching. So almost like you're pushing down, trying to hold a penny down with your lower back, really smashing it flat. And just holding that for as long as you comfortably can. So that's one. That's kind of like gonna be your warm up, and something that you should start doing when you bend down to pick up the weights. A lot of people, I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there. I don't know how heavy the weights were. But we tend to just grab the weights. So already you're pulling. So you really need to start bending from the knees. And you really want to start tucking. You really want to strengthen that core and protect that lower back and spine. So that's one thing. The other one that we were mentioning is child's pose. So there's 2 ways to do this. Either bringing your legs completely together, toes together. You want to sit back towards the heels, and then you're gonna fold forward already feeling that stretch in your lower back, and going as far as you comfortably can. I don't know how pulled you are, so if you just need to stay here, but really the goal is to bring that forehead towards the floor, and you can do whatever you want with your hands. This is more for your shoulder stretch. You either bring them back and stretch them forward, or I like to use them as a pillow. So bringing your legs together is gonna stretch your lower back more. But if that's too much, or if it's just uncomfortable, you can't breathe, I prefer the extended, so wide child pose. Your toes are still together, you're still sitting back towards your heels, and then you're still folding forward, but now you have this space in between. And again, I don't know how bad it hurts, but you're already gonna feel that stretch. If it's too much, you can stay here on your forearms or even lift. Again, this is your pose. This is your body. You know how you feel. But again, the goal is to bring that forehead towards the floor, either on the palms of your hands, or your hands can be stretched out, or they can be behind you. So that's another exercise. That's the one I really recommend, especially if you're really hurting right now. So another one, it's kind of the same concept as learning to protect your core. You're gonna be on your back. So the soles of your feet, knees are gonna be bent, soles of your feet on the floor. And again, you really wanna try to keep that tuck as if you're pressing down on a penny underneath you. Really trying to squeeze that penny down. Don't let it move. It's a windy day. And you're gonna bring those knees up towards the chest, one at a time, taking it at whatever pace is comfortable for you. And this is just called your core march. So again, you're really starting to strengthen and bring in all those core muscles. It doesn't have to be a big movement, just whatever is comfortable for you. Taking it wherever you comfortably can. And you're aiming again for those 2 sets of 10 reps per leg. But again, whatever is comfortable for you today, that's just kind of like your end goal. This feels kind of nice. And this is something also that if you feel If it's still too much in a laying down position, feel free to sit on a chair, and you're gonna do the same thing, pretending that my butt's on the chair. You're just kind of lifting it up as high as you possibly can, comfortably can. Or you can stand up, and same concept. So say you're standing and you're just bringing it as much as you comfortably can. But again, the main thing is to be doing that pelvic tilt. So really bringing that belly button in towards your spine and tucking that pelvis flat. So another exercise is going to be, you can still stay here on your back. You're going to bring in, I personally, when I'm doing my yoga practice with you all, I usually have you bring your knees in. So again, you're stretching here. If you feel comfortable enough, again, this doesn't have to be a big movement, but circling those knees one direction, the other direction, gives your body kind of a little lower massage. Maybe you can move it side to side a little. That's also massaging that lower back. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Once again, just kind of feeling that grounding into the earth. And then you can hug your right knee into your chest, again, as much as you comfortably can. Maybe you're still here because it hurts too much. Just the goal is to bring that knee towards the chest and extend your other leg. Again, if that's too much, maybe you just keep the soles of your feet onto the floor, but your goal is to extend that leg and hug your knee into your chest for about 20 to 30 seconds. You're gonna go ahead and switch it out after those 20 to 30 seconds, and same thing on the other side. And you're gonna go ahead and release it out. The last exercise you can do, it might be too much for you today, depending again on how you're feeling, but you look like you were in some pain, is bird dogs. You're gonna come to a neutral tabletop position, spreading those fingers out wide onto the floor as if you're pushing away from the floor, making sure you're not collapsing those shoulders, but doming them. And again, this is gonna be your common theme. Belly button in towards the spine, and you wanna tuck that pelvis. Actually, there's two things you can do. From neutral tabletop, you can do your cat-cow. So inhale, pushing that chest forward, lifting that face, lifting that sit bone. And exhale, bringing that chin towards your chest, tucking that belly button in towards your spine, rounding that back. And again, taking it at your own pace and really breathing through. Breathing is also going to be of utmost importance here. And again, aiming for those 2 sets of 10 reps. And then now the bird dog. So same neutral tabletop position. And you're gonna go ahead and start by just extending one leg back. And the goal is gonna be to lift. Usually you lift your hand as well, that's the bird dog. But I wouldn't focus on the hand so much right now if you're in that much pain. Just lifting. Again, the goal is to bring it parallel, completely parallel to the floor. But maybe today, just even this is gonna be enough with your pelvic tilt. And then maybe tomorrow or later on today, you'll lift a little. And then 3 days, you'll lift more. And then 4 days, you'll be able to hold it up. And again, 20 to 30 seconds is the goal of holding and trying to aim for those 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Really, and again, it's really just gonna be that pelvic tuck alone. It's gonna start stretching and strengthening that lower back and that core. And that's something you wanna focus on even as you start to feel better, because I really feel like that's what happened when you bend down to lift the weights. It's bending from the knees and not rounding your back, which is something that we teach in yoga. So I recommend you keep coming back to yoga class. I'll go ahead and see you Wednesday. Let me know if you have any questions or need any more modifications. Some of this stuff you can do with a chair. Actually, let me show you. I have my kids' chair out, because another one you can do, if that's hurting you all too much, like for the bird dog that we just did, if you can't extend back right now, maybe just extending forward and leaning as much as you can. You have the support of your thighs and your hand, so going as far as you comfortably can. If you're able to, maybe take both out. Again, pelvic tilt. And again, most important through all of this is breathing through that tension. You really want to take those deep breaths that I've shown you before, really inhaling, and as you exhale, bringing that belly button towards your spine. And you really can really focus on that lower back as you take that inhale. Really focus and mentally see your breath going towards the pain area in your lower back. And as you exhale, just releasing that tension. I know it sounds silly, it's going to be easier said than done, but you really do. We have fascia, and it kind of surrounds our muscle connections. And it really does like contain air and breath as its energy, as its life force. So you really can breathe towards that area. And again, take your muscle relaxers, take your pain meds. I hope you feel better. Truly, if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see what else we can do. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.